Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Plans, She Budgets. In today's video, we'll be closing out March's budget, so let's get started. All right, you guys, there's a few things I want to update you all on. One thing will be my March budget closeout. Two, don't mind my nails. I got a little bit of hair dye on them, which was a little bit of a fail, but I will try again. And then thirdly, I wanted to update you guys in my debt, my debt update video, the one where I made my last payment. I did mention that I paid off my debt on February 22nd of 2022. And then I also said that there was a second component to that date, so to remember that date. So today is the day where I'm finally going to tell you guys with the second part of February 22nd of 2002 meant to me. All right, so but first I'm going to go ahead and dive into this budget, and then right before we close out, I will give you guys the update. So let's get started. All right, so as you guys can see, I did do my weekly check-ins. Both videos are posted and I will have them linked down below, as well as my debt tracker update, my last debt tracker update, that will be linked down below as well. So what I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys is week number 5, which is technically from March 27th through the 31st. So as you guys can see, I had my utilities bill due for $214 that was paid. And then I had 1, 2, 3 no spend days for that week. On the 30th, I did spend $7.23 at Chick-fil-A, and that came from my personal spending. And then out of sinking funds, on the 31st, I purchased $84.53 worth of home projects money and gift money. And we will go over those two expenses. Let me just flip to the next page. So this is where I keep track of all of my expenses on the expense log. And real quick, I want to just remind you guys that this is a 7x9 monthly planner by Erin Condren. And then also the sticker kit and all the stickers you see here that I'm using are from Erica Life Vlogs, and then the no spend stickers are from as well as the paydays and the script stickers, I'll say, are from Romina Rosa, and both of those shops are linked down below. All right, so let's look at these two, or really just this transaction from the 31st. So from home projects and gifts, what store did I go to? I thought I wrote the store down. Oh, okay, so that's when I went to Marshall's. So I went to Marshall's just to buy some bathroom organizers. So I spent $54.53 out of home projects. That's because I had that little gift card, still had money on it. And then I needed an extra $30 for my total purchase, so I took it out of gifts to treat myself. All right, so those were those two transactions. And then again, this is where I wrote down all of my expenses. I did go ahead and total up my categories for the month, which was $2,376.23 that I spent out of these 4 categories: cash envelopes, which consist of gasoline, groceries, and laundry. Then my spending and sinking funds, but I didn't have any unbudgeted this month, so that's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and check off these 2 boxes. Okay, and then so in total for the month, I did end off with 12 no spend days. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's correct. So 12 no spend days for the month. And I had put this sticker down before I made my last payment, but I am officially debt free as of February 22nd in 2022. So again, that was a memorable date. And again, stay tuned later on this video for the part 2 of that date. Here are all my expenses. And then again, I had marked this down before I paid off my last loan, but I just wrote as a quick little summary. I had a total of 20 debts, ranging from credit cards, medical bills, and student loans was the biggest portion of my debt. So my debt in total was $89,025.29. It took just over 3 years to pay it off in full. So I no longer have a due date, and I don't have a minimum payment because my balance is now 0. If you would like to see more about my debt-free journey, feel free to check out my playlist on my channel. I will have my last debt update video linked down below. But if you want to see my entire journey, well, really like the last year and a half, because my first year I wasn't on YouTube yet. But if you want to see like the last like 18 months, feel free to check out my debt tracker playlist. All right, so this is the monthly budget view that we need to close out together. But first, before we could do that, we need to just take a quick look at paychecks 1 and 2. All right, so here are paychecks 1 and 2. These are already posted and whatnot. So I just wanted to go here and look at the numbers, because these are the numbers we need to pull from the actual columns when we fill in the monthly view. So these are all the actuals, and then as you can see from this video, from this paycheck, I didn't pull anything. This entire amount went to savings. So basically paycheck 1 took care of the month. Okay, and then the next thing we need to check in with is my weekly check-in page. So like I mentioned earlier, we just needed to go over week number 5, which was from the 27th through the 31st. And I only had those 2 categories I spent money out of. So basically my remaining balances for week 5 for gasoline, I still had $40. Spending still had $9.77. And sinking funds still have $2,152. And then down here, I just marked a total spent per category. So for the entire month, so from the 1st through the 31st, from gasoline, I spent a total of $200. Groceries, I spent a total of $820. Laundry, I spent a total of $48. Personal spending, I spent $490.23. Sinking funds, $818, and unbudgeted was 0. So just wanted to mention that these totals down here do take it into account the rollover I had from March. So this right here, parentheses, is what was rolled over from March. I'm sorry, from February. So these amounts was rolled over from February, and then with the plus signs is what I added in March. Okay, so just didn't want these numbers to confuse anyone on this view. All right, and then I do want to mention too, should I mention it now? You know what, let's just look at my sinking funds real quick. So I did do a lot of spending in my sinking funds this month, so I had to put some transactions on this sticky note. So for the last week, the last 2 things we had to go over was just that I spent this money in Marshalls, and like I said earlier, it was to buy some bathroom organizers. So what I did here is just pull all of my transactions, total them up to get a total amount spent per category. And then these are the amounts that I spent per category. And then this is what I have left over per category, which gives me that total of $2,152. And we will count that towards the end just to verify that all those amounts are in there. Okay, so that's this page, that's this page. All right, so we're just going to count the money towards the end. All right, so that is everything. Okay, so now let's just go over my numbers. I pretty much showed you the numbers from like the paycheck numbers like I mentioned. So right now this is where I'm just going to give the update and then just plug in the numbers. And real quick, I do have my cash envelopes and sinking funds binders. These 2 are A6 binders from Amazon, and they are linked down below. So I'm just going to set those there. All right, so I'm going to have a very quick, real moment with you guys, real quick. So I was actually nervous about filming this because I wasn't sure what I wanted to say, how much I wanted to share, and like basically how did I want to structure this portion of the video. Did I wanted to make it separate? I wanted to include it in something like this, and I decided to include it in my closeout. But basically what's been going on is I've been making some major life changes. So as some of you know, I am I worked in construction management. I was in my field for about 6+ years at this one company. And as you could probably already guess, based on how I'm speaking, I decided to quit my job. I officially resigned on February 22nd, 2022. The same day I paid off my debt was the same day I decided to hand in my resignation letter. The two things wasn't necessarily planned out. The resignation was planned out. The paying off my student loans was kind of like impromptu because I was kind of just feeling a certain way, so I just just do it. I was in a just do it mode. And basically what brought that on is everyone can relate that this, I don't know if we can still say it or not, I don't know. The panorama, these last 2 years been very challenging for everyone, and including myself. So I just been feeling like different. Like my whole perspective on life drastically changed. And me leaving my company is something I never saw me doing for real. It's like there was times I spoke about it to like my boyfriend or close friends, but like these last, I want to say like the last few months in 2021 is what really made me decide to go through with it. And again, even before that moment, I didn't, I was all talk. But basically, I decided to stop being afraid and to believe in myself, because that was really what made me stay in my position, or not just my position, but my stay at my company longer than I should have. I don't know. I don't want to say like I stayed there longer than I should have, because I definitely took so much from those 6 years that I've been working there. Good, bad, and ugly, indifferent, whatever you want to call it. I've gained so much. And me leaving was just another part of my journey to figure out what I want for myself, what I want for my life. And, my job was a really good job, paid extremely well, as you guys can see in my, budget videos, that I was making really good money. And this is like just from me. Like, this doesn't include my boyfriend's income. This was just my income by myself after taxes. So, like, as you can see, I was making really, really good money. So if you look at the pros of the job on paper, it's like, girl, you crazy, what you leaving for? But I just felt it deep in my bones, in my spirit, that it was time to move on. And the reason why I didn't before, when I initially like had the thought, it's just because I was scared and I didn't believe in myself. All I knew was this company, because it was my first job right out of college. I graduated with my bachelor's in engineering, so this was my first engineering job, and I was just like, in it to win it. Thought about making it a drop anchor job, and then, then I quickly learned after I started, it was like, take this job one day at a time. Because, I'm learning that's not really a thing, that people stay at one job from start to finish, like from start to retirement. That's not really a thing. So I don't need to feel bad about that or whatever, because no one stays at a job long term these days, or like for 30 to 40 years is what I mean by long term. So basically, yeah, my perspective on life drastically changed. Mind you, I definitely experienced death in the family these last 2 years, not from COVID, whatever we want to call it, not from that, but from other illnesses, like cancer, and just, some stuff we don't even know. But it was just like a lot of death going on. And then I don't mean to laugh like it's funny, because of course it's not. So that was more so like a nervous laugh. But anyway, yeah, basically what I was getting from all of that stuff is to live the life that I want. And for the longest, I thought that the life that I want would just come to me. And I just realized and learned that I have to create the life that I want. So I can't keep wishing and dreaming and living vicariously through someone else, like through YouTube or whatever, or Instagram, or, just wanting and wishing forever. I gotta, take action, take a chance on myself, and just create the life that I want. Ooh, sorry, you guys. I guess I got a little tight in the chest right there. Let me regroup 1 second. All right, so what I decided to do once I was thinking about I wanted to make some major changes. Not only did I decide to resign from my job, I also decided to move across the country with my boyfriend. So we moved from New Jersey to Texas. So now I'm in the big state, Lone Star, Texas. And what we did to prepare was to basically save, like our life depended on it. So if you guys recall, towards the end of last year, I was saving a lot of money versus putting more money towards my student loans, but I was saving a lot of money because I knew that, was coming up. And I saved about, I want to say in total to move about $9,400. And that was to, buy packing supplies, boxes, pay first month security, to pay for the moving truck, to pay for, we visited the city that we moved to before we moved. So it paid for like flight, hotel, food, fun activities, like, things of that nature. And then, and granted, I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough, but I was, I was totally scared. It was actually way more than I needed, because we actually ended up spending what we didn't spend, using some of it to just buy like furniture and stuff in our new place. So we are no longer living in the house. We decided to go back to renting. One, because we wanted a smaller place, and then two, because we moved to a whole nother not country, a new state. So we want to make sure we want to be here long term before we invest into a house. So for my house in New Jersey, we decided to put it on the market. And everyone knows the market is hot right now. So we definitely want to take advantage of that, and then use the sale to help fund, this transition in life, because my boyfriend did have to resign from his job as well. So we are both out here in Texas, unemployed, and I'm figuring things out. He already know what he wants to do. And I want to take just some time to just see what it is I wanted to do. Working in corporate America has its good and bad days. And I definitely just feel like, life is too short. I'm young. I'm still in my 30s, 31. And just thinking that retirement age these days is like mid 60s. So I would still have to work like more than double my age before I can even retire. I said, who the hell wants to do that? Who the hell wants to do that? And I just seen an opportunity that I could do something else. So I'm just trying something else. Who knows? I could be working back into another office, corporate America, again in 6 months from now. But who knows? I'm not closing that door. I just wanted to open a new door. Is really, I hope this video is not over the place, because I already know I need to do some editing. You know what? I think I'm gonna just pause the chit chat right there. But basically what I wanted to say was, before we did this, we saved, and we picked a date, and we stuck to it. We visited the city before we moved here, and I just decided to believe in myself and trust in God that it will all work out, because it definitely is very, very scary when you make moves like this. And maybe it should be scary so to keep you motivated to do what you got to do. But yeah. All right, so now into the budget. So I'm gonna do this part real quick because I feel like I was talking for a while. So paycheck one, that came in at $3,017.91. Paycheck two was the exact amount of $3,017.92. And other was the 145, I believe. Yep. So other was 145. So let me do that math. So 30, 17, 91 plus 30, 17, 92 plus 145 equals $6,180.83 for the month of March. 61.80 with 83 cents. All right, so that's what I brought home for the month of March. I think this 145 was for my boyfriend because he contributed to the sinking funds. All right, so as you guys know from paycheck number 2, mortgage and Verizon, I did not pay because I'm gonna, or well, not going, I paid those bills in April. Well, I'm still waiting on the Verizon bill, but I didn't take it out of paycheck 2 for March. T-Mobile was the $94.19. Utilities was the $214 even. So this total was $214 plus the $94.19 is $308.19. So $308.19. And then I need to change these numbers because I actually put in more than what I budgeted. So let me pull that from the weekly check-in. Okay, so I pulled $200 for gasoline. I pulled $700 for groceries. For laundry, I pulled $30, and this was in my cash stuffing for March. And spending was the $500. So this was just a little bit more than planned. So 200 plus 700 plus the 30 plus the 500. So that was a total for cash envelopes, $1,430 that I stuffed. All right, and then for sinking funds, instead of the 405, I actually stuffed a total of $900, which includes that 145. So this was a total of $900. Budgeted was still 0, so total of $900. All right, so for the budget breakdown, the total income was $6,180.83 minus 308 with, no, not 83, with 19 cents. Okay, so that was with 19 cents. And then 14.30 for sinking, or no, for cash envelopes. And then miscellaneous was 900. All right, so let me see, 61.80 with 83 cents minus the 308.19 minus the 14.30 and minus the 900. All right, so that was a total of $3,542.64 that went straight to savings. And that was to prep for this move and everything. I wrote this way too big. So $35.42 with 64 cents. So, yep, so I saved $524.72 from paycheck 1 and then $3,017.92 from paycheck 2. So let's see if that maths out correctly. Minus the $524.72. Yep. So that's where the savings went, towards me changing my life. All right. So now I wanted to just go ahead and count out the envelopes. This is going to just be a long one, y'all. I know I normally don't film these long videos, but I do watch them on here. So hopefully you guys will watch this one. So starting with, oh yeah, so the other update was I wanted to let you guys know where I moved. They actually don't carry my bank institution here, which is kind of strange in my opinion, but whatever. So I thought about changing banks, but I really like my bank. So I think I'm going to just keep them. So, and just try it out. I'm going to just see how it works for the month of April. So what I did was I took all the cash out of my binders and stuffed it with the prop money. The prop money is linked down below from Amazon. It came in a box that looked like this. And so all of my envelopes currently has prop money in here. So right now it should have the amount that I would have had at the end of March. Okay, so, and then I'm just gonna keep track of everything on my debit card, and I'll get more into that probably in my next video, just not to keep this too long. So yeah. So gasoline should have $40, 2040, because I did end the month with extra $40 that I didn't spend, and I'm still running on that same last fill up from this week, from the 4th week of March. I'm still running on that, so I didn't even have to pump yet, which is crazy, because right now it is April 7th, 8th, I think is the 8th, Friday. So groceries was empty, laundry was empty. Laundry I'll most likely take out because in my current unit we have a washer and dryer, so I won't be needing this anymore. And when the times when I need to just buy new detergent, I'll probably just pull it from groceries, because for April, and please stay tuned for my April budget video, because everything, how I budget is going to be different since my circumstances have changed. All right, so like I said, my spending is kept in on my debit card, but now everything is. So again, it'll make more sense once we get into April. But I normally keep my spending on my debit cards. At the time, that was true. Again, we're a week into April now, so you know. And then for my sinking funds, it's supposed to be $2,152, and we're just going to count it from this page just to make things easier. So self-care should have $2, and it does. It just has the 2 prop bills, and it had the real amounts previously. I probably should have filmed that, me swapping out the bills, but I guess it's all right. And also too, I've been having a little technical difficulties because the tripod I'm using, we had to kind of like rig it. It was 2 different tripods. So the tripod I usually use, somehow I like broke it in half, where like it has a ring light on it right here. So the part that so the ring light portion that connects to the tripod, I like snapped it somehow, and I don't even know how I did that, but it snapped. So my boyfriend has another tripod that I'm currently using, and he like drilled a hole and screwed it up so I could put this ring light on, because it helps make the videos a little bit brighter. So it's like 2 tripods in one, which is kind of weird. I forgot why I brought that up, but so yeah. Next is pets. $2 in here. 1, 2. And I'm thinking about how I want to account for change now that I'm using prop money. Car maintenance should have $1,010 and has the 1K slip plus the $10 prop money, so that is true. And using prop money does make things a little bit easier. See, this is 0. And wait, no, that was gifts. So gifts is 0. Home projects is 0. Oh, I got these out of order. And then miscellaneous should have 15. So it does, using prop money does make it easier for not having to go to the bank so often. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what I'm going to do is just treat this like regular cash as far as my videos are concerned. Swipe my debit card or credit card and just pull out the money as needed, just so it can represent what is actually in my bank. And this will save me having to make all those trips at the bank. I mean, even when I was doing it back in Jersey, it wasn't that big of, I mean, it was a little annoying sometimes, but I was doing it because I did prefer cash. But now that I'm in a new location where my bank isn't here, I kind of have to either get rid of, like, switch banks, or not switch. I guess I could have just opened a bank for just that purpose of cash envelopes, but I kind of didn't want to have to do all the back and forth. So I'm just going to see how this works out in April. And then if I prefer real cash, then I'll switch back. So water bill has $300. So 1, 2, 3. Whew, you guys, I'm sorry again. I'm making this video so long. Maybe I should break it up and just do part 1, part 2. Anywho, so car insurance has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $700. Save up for this premium coming up. Subscriptions should have $25. 20 and 25. Vet and grooming is at 23. So 21, 2, and 3. And then last but not least is car registration, which I definitely need to take care of since I'm in a new state. And this has 75, so 50, 70, and 75. All right, so all the money is there. Okay, so yeah, so basically the updates again were I moved to a new state. I'm currently in the process of selling my house. I resigned from my job, and I've decided to believe in myself, believe in God, and create the life that I want. So yeah. So that is everything for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I will see you all next time. Bye.